All right. We'll move on here to pharmacy. Here is the drug benefits for the copay plan. So this is if you take that Aware network with that $20 copay plan. You'll see for a 31-day supply, generics are $10, formulary are $35, and then non-formulary are $60. We also have our 90-day RX program, which I'll talk more about what that is. But you'll see for generics, it's a $20 copay. Formulary is $70, and then non-formulary is $120. And then if you're taking any specialty medications, I'll talk also about what that is. You'll see for that, it's a 20% coinsurance up to $100 max per prescription. Now, if you're taking the HRA plan under the Aware network or the regional network, you'll see that everything is subject to deductible. So again, you do need to meet your deductible of $2,000 single before your drugs are paid at 100%. So that will include your drugs. Any questions on either one of these drug plans? Yes?
If you currently have the 30 or 31 days prescription and you want to go to the 90, do you have to go back to your primary and ask them to go and give you a new prescription for the 90?
Yep, good question. She asked about if you're on a 31-day supply, and that leads me into our 90-day RX program. She asked if you have a 31-day supply and you'd like to change to the 90-day, do you need to go get a prescription from your doctor? And the answer is yes. So in order to participate in our 90-day RX program, what it is if you're on the copay plan, you're getting a 3-month supply for a 2-month copay. So you're saving a copay every 90 days. Now if you're on the HRA plan, you are saving as well in discounts. You're just not seeing it because you're not paying a copay, but you are still saving. So in order to participate in this program, it does have to be a maintenance medication. So something you're taking every month for maintenance qualifies. You do have to also be going to a participating pharmacy with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Most all pharmacies participate with us. It's just the smaller ones that you would want to ask if they do. And then lastly, to go back to her question, if you're not participating in the 90-day or you're not getting a 90-day script, yes, you will want to go to your doctor and get a 90-day script from your doctor just once for that medication. Take it to your pharmacy. They'll load that on file, and then going forward, you'll get the 90 days at the 2-month copay, or if you're under the HRA, you'll still be getting that discount. Question?
Currently, Health Partners has their own mail order supply with Blue Cross Blue Shield, something like that?
Yep, good question. Her question was, currently HP has mail order, does Blue Cross? Yes, with our 90-day RX, you can choose to do mail order or pharmacy pickup. So if you're interested in our mail order, it is going to change with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We use a different supplier. So if that's something that you're interested in, there is information in your resource guide to call customer service, and they'll get that set up for you. Question?
So if I do have the 90-day prescription plan through Health Partners now, you're not going to automatically transfer those over to the 90-day of Blue Cross?
The question was, if she currently has the 90-day RX with Health Partners, is that going to transfer over? What you'll need to do if you already have a 90-day RX set up, once you get your Blue Cross ID card in December, you'll need to make sure you show that to your pharmacy and ask that they just switch that over to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Because January 1st, if they don't have your new ID card, they're going to be running it under HP, and it's going to obviously deny because you don't have coverage with them anymore. Any other questions? Yes?
All local on the 90-day pharmacies?
All the larger chains, Walmart, Target, Cub, etc., all of them participate. Walgreens. You do not. Nope. You can go to any pharmacy. It's just those smaller onesie-twosies that you would want to ask if they participate in that program. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to step therapy here. Step therapy is going to apply in these 4 categories only that's listed up here. Antidepressants, cholesterol lowering, diabetic strips and meters, and then also proton pump inhibitors. And what this means is that if you are currently taking a brand drug, effective January 1st, we will ask, next time you go to fill your brand drug, we will ask that you take a generic before you can get your brand drug. Now, if for some reason you're not able to take a generic or you've already tried the steps with HP, we do have a step therapy authorization form that your doctor can fill out, send into Prime Therapeutics, which is our drug vendor, and if it's approved, you can continue with your brand drug. Yourself and also your doctor will get a letter letting you know if it's been approved or denied. I would note to everybody to make sure you fill your drugs prior to January 1st. I'll show everybody how to look for a drug list and whether your drug is subject to step therapy, but with step therapy, reviewing the drug, it usually takes about a week, so we don't want anyone sitting without their medication. So make sure you're filling your medication prior to January 1st. Now, specialty drugs are used to treat serious or ongoing conditions. There's some examples listed up here. There are more high-cost drugs. Cancer drugs is another good example. But with that, if you're currently on a specialty medication or you start taking a specialty medication, you're not able to pick these up at your local pharmacy. You will have to call Blue Cross Blue Shield customer service. They'll get the program set up for you, and then the drugs will be delivered to you monthly through our Prime specialty supplier. Now, if you want to search on our website for a prescription drug, again, bluecrossmn.com, and then down at the left-hand side there, you'll want to select prescription drugs. And then here, you'll click on Learn About Prescription Drugs. And then here's our formulary list. So this is going to show you all our drugs on our formulary list, and then also all drugs that are subject to either step therapy or specialty. They'll have an ST or an SP next to them. And also, too, if it's just easier for you to call customer service, you can certainly do that at any time, and they'll assist you with finding your drugs on our formulary list. If you choose to continue on our website here, it's next going to bring you to this slide. This leaves Blue Cross Blue Shield and goes to Prime Therapeutics, who again is our drug vendor. And this is then where you can search for different drug costs for a 31-day supply or a 90-day supply, and also what different pharmacies charge. Because all pharmacies charge something different for the same exact prescription. So if you're interested in that, that's where then this would take you. You'll want to make sure up here that you select FlexRx formulary. That's our largest formulary that we have at Blue Cross Blue Shield. And also, too, again, if you're calling into service for assistance with a prescription, make sure you note that you have FlexRx. And that's also in your resource guide. Everything I'm talking about today is in your resource guide. Your resource guide is going to kind of be your one-stop shop. If you have any questions, all the information is here in the resource guide. Any questions before we move on to the HRA? All right, so we'll move on to the HRA here. It's paired with the high deductible health plan. So again, you do need to take that high deductible health plan that we talked about earlier. Excuse me. 2,000 single, 4,000 family. And then as Candace had said earlier, Anoka County contributes $1,000 for single, $2,000 for family into your HRA account. It's used to offset your higher deductible. So that's going to help you pay for your deductible and out-of-pocket expenses. Any unused dollars that you don't use will roll over each year. Excuse me. And retirees who transition to the Medicare supplement plan are able to spend down their account until the balance is zero. Any questions on that? Yes.
The county puts in 1,000 per person, and so one individual uses it, the other doesn't. We have to do the family 2,000, or is it by person?
The question came up with the county contribution for the HRA. It's not divvied up between person, so if you have family coverage, you get $2,000 in that health reimbursement account. And so however claims come in to Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's how they will reimburse for the $2,000. So, for example, you had the question at the beginning, what if my spouse spent $200 and spent $2,000 and I spent $200? However those claims hit, it could be, if that first claim was for your husband, that was a catastrophic $50,000 bill, all of that $2,000 would pull just for him, and then he'd have 100% coverage. You'd have that exposure for your $200 bill that came in later in the year. The reverse may be you just have onesie, twosie claims here and there. You have 1 or 2 doctor's appointments, maybe average $250 a bill. You have a couple prescriptions, and they're just going to reimburse those up to that first $2,000. Make sense?
So Blue Cross Blue Shield keeps track of what the county's putting, we don't have to care.
Correct. And I will mention too, if you're on the high deductible program, that HRA is available first. So if you choose that, you've got that 2,000 individual, $4,000 deductible. If you're on that plan and have that health reimbursement arrangement account there, it will pull from there first for you to be reimbursed. So that money's available first before you get into what you may owe to offset that deductible.
All right, we'll move on here and we'll talk about the crossover. The crossover feature is going to be offered through Select Account. Select Account is a subsidiary of Blue Cross Blue Shield, and your HRA account, they're going to be your HRA administrator. So with the medical claims and crossover here, this is how it'll work. You'll see your doctor. As long as your doctor is participating with Blue Cross Blue Shield, they electronically submit the claim to us. We'll determine your benefits. We'll apply what goes towards your deductible. We'll also apply our discounts. In the meantime, we'll send the claim over to Select Account. Select Account is then going to check your HRA balance, and if you have money in your HRA balance, they will either do direct deposit or send you a check for that amount. Now, if you currently have direct deposit with HP, that banking information will not cross over to Blue Cross. You'll want to make sure that you pick up a form and sign up for direct deposit. If you don't want to do direct deposit, again, you can choose to get a check from Select Account. Select Account pays out pretty fast, within just a couple days, so you want to make sure that you earmark those dollars for when you get the bill from the provider. Because step 5, you see, you still are responsible for paying your provider. So we're going to reimburse you out of your HRA account automatically, and then you'll need to pay then your provider once you receive that bill. Every claim that comes into Blue Cross Blue Shield, you will receive an explanation of benefits letting you know how the claim paid. And you'll also receive an explanation of payment from Select Account, letting you know the amount that came out of your HRA. So you want to make sure that you match those two up with your bill from your provider so that they all match dollar-wise. And if you ever have any questions on any of your bills or your EOBs, please call customer service. Because we make mistakes or the provider might have made a mistake, so if you ever have any questions, don't pay the bill, make sure that you call us, and we'll help you work through that. One thing I want to mention with the crossover, again, like I said, everybody's automatically enrolled in this January 1st. Now, if yourself or your spouse, or if you happen to have any dependents on your plan, have other coverage, you'll want to make sure that you opt out of crossover. And the reason for that is that crossover is only looking at your Anoka County plan and then paying out. It's not taking into consideration your other insurance. So you need to opt out of crossover so that both insurance companies pay on that claim, and then you'll manually have to reimburse yourself out of your HRA account. So just keep that in mind. If you have other coverage, you have to opt out of crossover. And again, there's a form over there for crossover, declining crossover, or you can go online to decline crossover, whichever is easiest for you. Any questions on how the medical claims work with the crossover? Okay. Next, we'll move on to pharmacy claims. Pharmacy claims work a little bit different than medical. Pharmacy is real time. So with that, you'll go and get your prescription filled. While you're standing there at the pharmacy, your pharmacist is going to check your benefits and also check your HRA account. If you have money in your HRA account, it's automatically taken out of your HRA and you walk away without paying for the prescription. So you won't owe anything as long as you have money in your HRA and you have crossover set up. Now, if you've declined that crossover feature, pharmacy will be manual as well. So then the pharmacist will ask you for payment for that medication, and then you'll need to reimburse yourself out of your HRA account. So again, pharmacy is going to work a little bit different. The money is automatically withdrawn and you walk away without paying for your prescription as long as you have crossover on. Any questions on how that works?